I was out in the Fabia the other day on a bit of a dull day, a bit wet, and I had to put my lights on. And I noticed when I looked around the interior space, all the lights were green. They lit up in Skoda green, and I was quite pleased with that, except my window switches, which when I replaced, I didn't check, and I ended up getting one with red LEDs, which has really bugged me for quite a while. So today I'm going to change it out for some with green LEDs. When I originally had the window switch problem and looked online for a replacement, I never really thought about the colour of the LEDs, to be honest. And when I looked online recently, a lot of the replacement units didn't mention an LED colour. I did contact a few of the firms and it came back with red LEDs, but I eventually tracked some down that specifically mentioned green LEDs. So I bought them. They were a little bit more money, and that's what I've got today. I'll put a link in the description where you can get these, so without further ado, I'll get on with it. Here's the switches, all one unit, with the socket on the back. This one's got a maker's number printed on the back. Oh, and a date of manufacturer, 2023. That's interesting. And that of course fits inside the outer housing case on the handle. At the front, just here. The fixing points are at the rear and at the front, and an extra one at the front, but it's the one at the rear that's the difficult one to release, and you get access to that from underneath. There's a little hole underneath the handle where you have to stick some wire and release the catch at the rear for the catch. Once you've done that, the front releases quite easily, and you can use some plastic trim tools for that, such as what I've got here. I think I'll use this one. Right, get me wire. So you want a bit of wire, roughly this type of gauge, so I don't know, about 3mm or something, slightly bent. It's got to be stiff enough to push the catch. Shove it up here, this hole, and you have to insert it a sort of set distance. Anyway, shouldn't be too hard, and fiddle around. When I get it off, you'll be able to tell what kind of catch it is and how to release it. But you're basically putting it in front of the catch and pushing it backwards and up. There you are, I've released it a little bit. Then you get your trim tool at the front edge and release those clips. And there we have it released. It should easily come off then. As I said, it's the rear catch that's the hardest. I'll just show you again from another angle. So this is the catch that goes back down that slot, and it's a little bit flexible, and you push that back like that. I'll just show you where the clip is that it fits into. Down behind this slot here, and there's the little clip that it fits onto. So you're pushing up against that to release it. You can see it just sort of slots into place behind the slot as you're putting it back and taking it off. Right, once it's off, then you just disconnect the electrical connection. You can take the battery lead off first if you want. You don't have to do, don't seem to make any difference. But if you're cleaning the contacts, then I would recommend that. It just pulls off. I don't think it's clipped on, although the back of mine looks like it's got some clips on, and the socket does. I think it's a bit gnarled here, so it might have been. I believe they actually put a little bit of glue on these to hold them in place, because it's actually vertical. It could vibrate loose and drop down, so that's one thing to be mindful of if yours stops working altogether. Here's the switch and cover panel removed. There's a front clip. 3 side clips. And the rear clip, which is pretty much gnarled because I've had it off a number of times. So it's held in place by 3 screws, 2 here and 1 here. Nothing else holds it together. There's the OEM number of the cover panel. I don't know if that includes the switch. I don't think it will. I think it's just the panel. Okay, I'll just take that inside and then dismantle it and swap it out for the new one. So you need a Phillips 1 or PH1 driver, and just take all the 3 screws out. Quite simple really. And then it just pulls off like that, and that's it. So I'll put that to one side. There's the number you've got for the panel. Put the new one in place. Line the screw holes up. And then replace the screws. Just nice and snug, so it's flush. That's all okay, so I'll put it back on the car now. But before I do that, I'm going to clean the contacts with some contact cleaner. Let that dry, of course. Right, I'm going to stick it all back together now, literally. So I'm going to use some sort of weak glue, which is this Yoo-hoo stuff. I don't want it strong at all, I just want to hold it in place so the connection doesn't drop down. So I'm going to put a little dab on each side. Push the contact in firmly. And then line it up with the front clip to start with, and then the other clips will just fall into place, making sure the rear one goes behind that slot. And it'll click into place. Just like that, as Tommy Cooper used to say. Reconnect the battery and test it. Turn my power on. Yep, that seems to be working. Windows going down and up, but doesn't do the one touch thing yet, so I'll have to set that. So to do that, you need to lift it up to the top, then release, then pull it back again and hold it for a few seconds, then release, then it should work, which it does. And then repeat on the other switch. That's all working now, so the job's sorted. Just have to look at the LEDs at night time now. Oh, hold on a minute, I can put my hand around it and have a look. Here we are, green light, lovely. I'm happy with that now. All back to factory. So I hope this helped you out, guys. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. And as always, thank you for watching.